Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on a brand new edition of NewsX India A-List. In our endeavour to bring forth the stories of some of India's finest and brightest, today we've put together yet another unmissable lineup of India's who's who. Our first guest for the day is prolific actor Saqib Salim. He was recently seen in the film 83, which is receiving rave reviews at the box office and amongst critics. Saqib also got very good reviews for his portrayal of Mohinder Amarnath in the film.
Best known for his prolific acting.
Nothing matters. The man himself liked it, and that's the biggest validation I could have asked.
He was recently seen in the film 83.
I feel like my parents would have done something good in their life that I'm part of this.
NewsX India A-List proudly recognizes Saqib Salim for excellence in acting.
Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on a brand new edition of our special show NewsX A-List. We're in conversation today with well-known actor Saqib Salim, whom you have just seen flooring you all with an amazing performance, 83. So Saqib, congratulations and welcome back to NewsX.
Thank you, Uday. It's always lovely talking to you. And yeah, man, I'm just overwhelmed with all the love I'm getting. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, let's just start out by just talking quickly about the response, and then we will get to your, your preparations, your lengthy preparations for this role. So just tell us about what the feeling is. Finally, I know it was a long wait, but you did get a theatrical release after all. You had that big bang premiere in Mumbai as well. So all those boxes were ticked off. How was the feeling like, getting this movie finally out there and getting the response? What's the best compliment you got so far?
Brother, I've been working for the last 10, 12 years, but it feels like this is my first film because the kind of love I've gotten for this, I've never gotten in my life for anything. It's just so overwhelming that the kind of messages I've been getting, whether it's from the fraternity, whether it's from people on social media, my friends, my relatives, and I don't know how to react. Like I said, I have never gotten a response like this, so I'm just... I don't know what to say or what to do. I didn't know that I was so bad at taking compliments. This is the first time I've realized that I'm bad at taking compliments. And like you said, we had a big bang premiere. But if I had to tell you that the best compliment that I've gotten is from the man himself, Mohinder Amarnath. It was at the premiere of the film. And I was very nervous. Okay? I was very nervous how he would see it. I'd already seen the film before that, so I knew the film was good. But I really wanted his review. I was playing him, right? So when the premiere was on, I was slightly right next to his seat, trying to gauge his reaction as to what he's thinking. But I was getting very anxious. So I'm like, okay, I can't do this to myself. I have to let him enjoy the film. And I have to just disconnect for a bit right now. I went out of the theater. I had a couple of more black coffees. I got more anxious. And then when the film got over, I came back in. And I went to him. And I don't know why. I had tears in my eyes. And I looked at him. And all I said was that, I'm really sorry if I did something that was wrong. And he just looked at me. And in his trademark smile, he smiled at me and said, "Tu pagal ho gaya hai?" And he has this red handkerchief that he would always carry with himself in the 1983 World Cup. He was wearing a red pocket square. He took out that pocket square, put it in my jacket and said, "Ye aaj se tera hai. Tune aaj mujhe 10 saal jawan kar diya." And I just couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop crying. I'd never in my life, in my acting career, had a more honest moment in my life. I felt so connected to my own self at that point that now no review matters. Now no box office matters.
True.
Nothing matters. The man himself liked it, and that's the biggest validation I could have asked for.
Yeah, and what a validation and what a moment, of course. I did see that, brief video from the auditorium. But tell us just then, taking you back, into memory lane, when you got approached for this film, what was your thought? What was, going through your mind then when you knew that you were going to play Mohinder Amarnath? The fact that obviously this is a biopic and Mohinder Amarnath is also alive to see you play him as well.
Correct.
So what was going through your mind then? Did you think it was a bit of a risk? Were you excited to do it? What was running through your mind then?
Firstly, the film was never offered to me.
Okay.
I offered myself to the film. I remember reading about the film in a newspaper that Kabir Khan is making a film on the 1983 World Cup and Ranveer Singh to play Kapil Dev. The cricketer in me, the cricket fanatic that I am, got really happy, saying,
Yeah.
long overdue, a film on the 1983 World Cup. We need
Yeah.
to celebrate our heroes. Well done, Kabir Khan. Well done, Reliance and everybody involved. Well done, guys. In my head, this is what I'm thinking. I'm folding the newspaper, keeping it back, and suddenly I realized this is a film on the 1983 World Cup.
Yeah.
And I know my cricket well. So I'm thinking to myself, who's playing Jimmy Amarnath in the film? I took out my phone. I sent Kabir Khan a message. I'm like, hi, sir. I just want to come meet you, have a coffee with you. And Kabir is like, Kabhi bhi aaja. मैं अगले दिन ही पहुंच गया. I was in his office, sitting across him, and I was having that coffee I asked for. And now I don't know how to start this topic. So I'm looking at him talking about the 1983 World Cup. I listed everything about the World Cup. I knew everybody's stats. I knew who did what, who scored in what match, what was Kapil sir's performance, what was Sunil Gavaskar's performance, Mohinder Amarnath's performance. And he was very impressed. The boy knew his cricket. And then finally, I told myself, what are you doing, man? Just tell the guy you want to be part of this film. And I looked at him and I said, sir, I want to be Jimmy Amarnath. That's the first thing I said about the film and about this character.
But why? I mean, what came out? You could have said, I want to play another character. What prompted you to say and be honest that you wanted to play Jimmy Amarnath?
I'll be honest, okay? I'm an actor. I'm a greedy actor. I want the meatiest part in the film. And I knew my cricket well, right? I knew my cricket well. I knew Jimmy Amarnath's contribution to the World Cup. He was the vice captain of the team. He was the man of the match in the semi-finals, the man of the match in the finals. And I hadn't read the script. But I knew for a fact that if this is a film on the 83 World Cup, Mohinder Amarnath would have a banging part. So I went with my gut, and I had known Jimmy sir before this. I had done a film earlier called Dishom, where he plays my coach.
I believe so.
So I'm like, I know the man. He's such a lovely guy. It'll be so good to play him. His contribution to the World Cup is immense. So I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, this is the role I want. And I told him that. Then I had to go through an auditioning process. Then a bit of a cricketing process. And then one fine day, Kabir called me. He's like, you on? And that's when I realized, okay, now getting the part is out of the way. I've got the part. Now, how do I play him? How do I play a guy who's poles apart from who I am? Jimmy Amarnath is the most zen human being you'll meet in your life. He's so calm. And look at me. I'm all over the place, man. I want to do 10 things at a time. I want to jump from this table to the other. And here was a guy who would just not say anything. His eyes and smile would say everything. And I had to convey all of that. So I'm like, okay, damn. I wanted something. I got it. But now how do I do it? But Kabir Khan, what a man. Yeah. What a legend that man is. He put us through this beautiful process. We were training for this film for about 10 months. And by the end of the training, I could see Kapil Dev. I could see Yashpal Sharma. I could see Balwinder Singh Sandhu, and they could see Jimmy Amarnath. And it was every day. Every day we saw better Kapil. We saw better Jimmy. We saw better Yashpal. And it's the process. It was the team exercises we did, the bonding we did. Because Kabir was very clear from day one that this is not a one-man show. This is a team film. This is a team film, and everybody came at the right time to perform and make sure that India wins the World Cup. Whether it is Roger Binny's contribution, whether it is Balwinder Singh's contribution, whether it is Yashpal Sharma's contribution, Madan Lal's contribution, Jimmy Amarnath's contribution, Kapil Dev's contribution. Everybody had their moment to shine in the film. So as actors, the insecurity that we have about what we are doing in the film went out of the way. We're like, okay, everybody has their moment to shine. Now let's focus on making this team. And I still remember we were going to London, right, to shoot the film. And at that point, it didn't feel like we were going to shoot a film. It felt like we were going to play the World Cup. Because the 10-month prep put us in such a mental state that we were subconsciously training 24 hours. Without even realizing our body had taken over. We had all become who we were in the the film.
Yeah.
So it's been one of the most enriching experiences as an actor to be part of
Fantastic.
this film.
No, and
To
it's really
work
coming.
with such great actors, yeah. What actors I have in this film, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like my parents would have done something good in their lives that I'm part of this film.
No doubt. And you know, you're all shining through in your parts. As you said, everyone was an intrinsic part of this unit, and the unit has come together, which is why it's become so successful and it's getting such good reviews. So well done on that. Okay, we're almost out of time,
Thank you,
Saqib. So quickly, before we sign off, any New Year resolutions? We're just entering 2022 now. Any New Year
I'm too old for
resolutions? Thoughts of
resolutions
the year
now.
gone by?
I'm too old for resolutions now, and I've realized resolutions are made to be broken. So
Okay.
no resolutions, but I'd like to say this to people who are watching this, that I'm going to work really hard, and I want to keep working hard, because I know for one that I really love acting, and I'll keep doing it. I'll try and keep entertaining people as much as I can, and I'll try and keep doing as many interviews with you, because I really enjoy myself doing interviews with you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a
Thank you,
resolution
Uday.
that I'll make sure you don't break. Okay. Thank you very
Take care
much,
of yourself.
Saqib Salim,
Yes, Uday.
for joining us, and congrats on signing off 2021 with a bang with 83. Thank you once
Thank
again
you,
for joining
brother.
us.
Thank you, Uday.
And our next guest for the day is the Managing Director at Sony Pictures Films India, Vivek Krishnani, Jamnalal Bajaj Institute alumnus. He was instrumental in leading SPEI to relaunch its local production arm in 2018 with the Akshay Kumar starrer Padman and the Amitabh Bachchan and Rishi Kapoor starrer 102 Not Out. He's had a great year of 2021 for Sony Pictures Films India. He's talking about that, and he's also talking about what's coming up in 2022 for them, and also the trends of cinema and the Indian film industry for the year that's coming up.
Leading his studio to venture into regional productions.
We've really been happy with the way the film has turned out, and what the love that people have given it at the box office.
He ensured revenue maximization of Hollywood releases.
Definitely, content is what is the biggest leveler for all, whether it is local films or Hollywood.
NewsX India A-List proudly recognizes Vivek Krishnani for excellence in leading production houses.
Hello and welcome. Amudar Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special series, NewsX A-List. And today we have another special guest joining us on the program. We have Vivek Krishnani live with us. He's Managing Director at Sony Pictures Films India. Welcome, Mr. Krishnani, to the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Uday. Thanks for having me here. Really appreciate it.
Yes, let's begin, just by talking to you about how you signed off 2021 with a bang. Very big box office hit of Spider-Man: No Way Home. So tell us about that. The fact that obviously there was this uncertainty over whether it would release, whether it wouldn't. The fact that you got it out there and it became such a big roaring success.
Correct. Yeah, thank you, Uday. And, we at Sony are really, really happy with the way our year has ended. When we kind of started planning for this, and, when theaters were closed back in early September, we were obviously very, very anxious about the fact that how do we, what's going to happen with our biggest release of the year. In October, if you see, what happened is that Hollywood films actually paved the way when exhibition started, and then we had Venom that released in October, and it did really well. That gave us the confidence in the fact that people are coming back to cinemas, and they are really kind of, embracing a film that basically provides good content and, good entertainment. And we saw that happen when, a few local films released as well. So I think at the end of the day, when we went in with Spider-Man, what we kind of realized is that the film already had a huge nostalgia value attached to it, and it had a huge amount of newness in it in terms of what the film had to offer, and that we kind of saw when the trailer released. It actually broke the internet when the trailer released.
Yeah.
It gave us huge number of views in a span of 24 hours. And that really caught the fancy of the people globally. And slowly and steadily, when we saw the hype building, And finally, the dams broke when we opened the advances, on the 12th on the 12th of December. So it just was something that was never seen before. Experience for film to get advance bookings of this kind of love and support from the audiences. I think we've really been happy with the way the film has turned out and what the love that people have given it at the box office.
Spider-Man, of course, is something so popular. It's a very popular franchise. That Hollywood films also, good content Hollywood films, performing very well at the Indian box office. Is that a trend that you're seeing?
See, I think Uday, what's happening is by all imagination, good content is working. Whether it is Hollywood content or local film content, that is immaterial. And we've seen that happen. We've seen that happen even in the past when, regional films have released and they've done extremely well. Suryavanshi released, it did really well as well. And now when Spider-Man has released, it has done exceedingly well too. So at the end of the day, I think it's the victory of content, and it's basically where people are understanding now what kind of content will get them to the theaters, because that is really important. Now, we have to be very, very careful as filmmakers and content creators to understand what will motivate audiences to come back into theaters. And that's what we are seeing, that, films that have, a huge spectacle, a large VFX in terms of good visual, range. I think those are the films that typically are kind of driving people to the cinema. Plus also films that have a connect, with audiences, and something that they haven't seen before, is something that is getting people into cinema. So so definitely content is what is the biggest leveler for all, whether it is local films or Hollywood.
Okay. Do you believe that that's also been Sony Pictures Films, USP? If we ask you as a company of bringing these Hollywood films to Indian audiences, keeping Indian audiences engaged with what's doing well in the West, ensuring that they're not isolated, ensure they're not, downloading them on or watching really cheap versions of these big Bollywood films. Do you believe that's been the USP of your company, of your brand over the last few years?
I think Sony Pictures as a company believes in theatrical medium, and therefore there is a if you've seen in the past that Sony is the only company out of the studios that does not have a day and date release on a OTT platform. We are committed to the theatrical window. We are respecting the theatrical window, and then we follow the subsequent windows. So for audiences across the globe and including India, we have always promised and delivered great quality content, where in the past, where it was films like I said, Venom, or whether there was Jumanji, or there was the previous Spider-Man franchise, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and our upcoming lineup, which is incredible as well. We've got Uncharted with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. We've got Bullet Train with Brad Pitt, and we've got Morbius with Jared Leto. So I think, we are, from a lineup point of view, we are committed to providing the theatrical experience, and our films are delivering to that promise. And not only the Hollywood, but even our local films as well. Yeah.
Yes, I was just going to say that there's some interesting local films as well, some Indian films as well, that are on the slate for 22, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. We have an interesting lineup of our local films coming up, and the first one being Major. It's based on the life of Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan, who was martyred in the 26/11 Taj attacks. It's a Telugu and a Hindi film, so it's actually shot in 2 languages, and it's definitely going to be a theatrical experience for sure. And obviously, in terms of our rest of the lineup that we have, we've got a film which is called Aankh Micholi, which is a comedy directed by Umesh Shukla. It has got Paresh Rawal, Sharman Joshi, Mrinal Thakur, Abhimanyu Dasani, and Abhishek Banerjee. And again, promises to be a compelling family entertainer. And then combined with that, we've got Nikamma, which is an action film directed by Sabir. We've got Tera Kya Hoga Lovely with Randeep and Ilyana, directed by Bali. Plus, we are also working on an underwater film with Ram Madhwani's film company called Dive. We are actually trying to push our boundaries as far as content is concerned, and also give new talent a chance, whether it is in terms of writers or directors. Like we have a film called Saleh Ashik, which is being directed by the talented duo of Siddharth and Garima, who are the writers of Bajirao and Ramlila and so on and so forth. So the idea is to bring new talent into the ecosystem, at the same time compelling content that gets people into theaters.
Okay, great. Well, we are also now finally, as we wrap up the interview, talking at the start of 2022, Vivek. So I have to ask you about, your thoughts on the year ahead now. What's going to be the business of cinema in 22? We're of course seeing this new wave, certain states shutting down theaters, but we have seen, of course, a bounce back in 21. So what do you believe is going to be the business of cinema in 22 as theaters and OTT begins to learn how to coexist?
So I think, like you rightly said, I think both these platforms coexist. They offer content of different kinds to people, fulfilling different needs. Right. Unfortunately, right now we are seeing a bit of a challenge in the exhibition space and the theatrical space, primarily because of this, new variant that is out there. And obviously, one has to be extremely safe. We have to ensure that audiences are safe, and we have to ensure that cinema going is definitely a safe experience. So in the interim, we are seeing obviously a little bit of restrictions, which is basically in terms of either cinema closures in some markets or night curfews, which are basically preventing late night shows, etc. So that can definitely impact our business, in the short term. But having said that, as we are seeing, the way this variant has performed in other markets, for example, in South Africa itself, where it originated from, we are seeing that it's almost back to normal now in a span of about 90 days. So I think, we are obviously the size of the country we might take, time in that sense, but within a few months, I definitely see this business bouncing back, because I think cinema going in India, is a religion, and movies are a religion, and cinema going is like going to a place of worship in that sense. So what is happening is that basically it is one of the favorite pastimes of our country, and you are definitely going to see cinemas bounce back once things start getting normalized. And, there is a sense of safety and normalcy that prevails. And we've got great films in the lineup coming up, not only from our studios, but from other studios as well, which are compelling theater watches. So definitely.
Great. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Vivek. Wishing you and of course the entire team at Sony Pictures Films India all the very best for 2022. Happy New Year. And thanks once again for joining us.
Thank you. I wish you and everybody else in Newsx the same. Yeah.
And our final guest for the day is film producer Anu Ranjan. She founded the Indian Television Academy, a groundbreaking and significant movement which brings together and galvanizes the entire TV workforce under one umbrella.
Known for her excellent productions,
The TV from nowhere, people not recognizing who the TV stars were, became super household names. Exactly that they were.
she founded the Indian Television Academy.
Every single network, I think all 8-10 of the platforms are all actively participating in the IT awards.
Newsx India A-List proudly recognizes Anu Ranjan for excellence in film production.
Hello and welcome to Newsx India A-List. I'm Priyanka Sharma and you're watching Newsx. Joining me on the broadcast today is Anu Ranjan, who is all set to talk us about ITA Awards 2021. Miss Anu, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Priyanka.
Tell us about ITA Awards and your association with it. How long has it been and what has the journey been like?
This is our 21st year of the IT Award. My journey is I started it, so I think I've been there from inception, yes. And it's just that because of what has happened the previous years, we're running a few months late. Ideally, it should have been in 21, but we had the 20th awards last year. So 21st are going to be held in March this year. And I just love it. There's no other words for it. I just
How
love
was
the
it
fact that
incepted?
it's actually, it was an idea told to me by my friends while we were walking on the beach to say that there are no TV awards. And this was in 2020. Sorry, 19, I've forgotten years also. Oh my God, 2000, not 20. In the year 2000, 1999, 2000, when we talked about it, 2000. So it was just a kind of a thought that, okay, and I used to live in America. I moved from there after I got married. So the Emmys was something we'd always seen. So I said, okay, let me try doing it. It just happened that TV started at that same time. All of a sudden, things started happening on television. That is when all the KBCs and the K series, etc., all started.
Yeah.
And IT was launched the same year as them. So TV from nowhere, people not recognizing who the TV stars were, became super household names exactly that year onwards.
All right. So, how has the award ceremony changed in these past 2 years, considering the COVID outbreak? What are the protocols that have been put in place?
See, last year before was fab. We did it in Indore. There was 10, 15,000 people. It was perfect. Last year, we had to have it kind of in a studio. But what we did is instead of having only a 3-hour live show, we kind of extended it over a day and a half, 2 days. Like we did one act, let them go. We did 10 awards with just about 30 people and then kind of continued. But we did touch wood, do everything with everyone present there. And then in the edit, we put everything together. But it just kind of spread over 3-4 hours into maybe say 20 hours. And but it worked pretty well that way too.
All right.
And this year, God willing, we have it in March. If things work out well, I'm sure they will. Then it's going to be another super year for us.
Right. You just mentioned that the award functions are now in March. So the nominations are out, and not just television stars. It also recognizes actors who have made their mark in the digital space. So what is going to be the highlight of ITA 2021?
See, this is just basically this year what we've got is we've got OTT at par with TV. So far, it was like TV was like an 80% chunk, and the OTT platforms were, let's say, 20. Now what has happened is kind of become 60-40. TV is still a little heavier, but there is a lot happening here. And the good thing is all the artists are more or less the same. Whether you're doing television, whether you're doing film, whether you're doing web, it's the same people, it's the same faces, and they're very, very widely recognized and accepted by all. So that has made a very big difference. And we are the only ones. We've this year got, we started OTT 3 years ago, and that time we had just about 14 shows entering the first year. This year we've got, I don't know, it goes into 100 plus. And every single network, I think all 8-10 of the platforms are all actively participating in the IT Awards.
All right.
Yes.
So considering the increase in COVID cases and the situation that we are all in, will the awards be held virtually now? Is that a possibility?
See, virtually we will not do. If I have to delete some, I will delete some. Virtually doesn't make any sense because the idea of an award show is to be present with each other, is to feel. The vibrations are different. Virtually, you can do it anywhere. One could be sitting anywhere in the world. They don't even feel they're getting an award. You know, it's like ghar bhej diya, kar liya. So like I said, last year we did it February 14th. We had the super 2-month window where everybody was allowed. So we did it this particular way. So God willing, I'm saying, maybe as this has come, it'll vanish just as fast. I mean, why think so negatively right now? We just hope that it becomes well and situation becomes good. Till such time, we've got it in March. If we have to extend it from March a little bit further, we'll do that. But we'll wait for everything to be perfectly normal. We'll still follow all the protocols that are going to be necessary and are required. But I don't want to do them virtually at all. I don't mind extending if I have to, the ground event date.
Okay.
Yes.
And when and where would it stream? How can fans vote for their favorite stars?
No, that's on the ITA platform. You can vote on ITA, the ITA 2021 or the IndianTelevisionAcademy.com. You can vote for all your favorite artists, your favorite channels, your networks, everybody right there is what the popular voting is. The jury also, all the entries and the nominations have started coming in from all the various production houses and networks. And as planned, hopefully the jury should be able to sit by next month. And jury also we're keeping, instead of keeping all 6, 7 at a time, we're going to start holding it, dividing it with three people, taking this huge room with that 3 different people watching their own show. So there's going to be no human beings in contact with each other as such. So that is how we're all planning, but this is how we're going to do it. And if, again, I'm saying, if God willing all goes well, it'll happen like that.
All right. So speaking about the location, will it be happening in Maharashtra or some other place?
Yes, in Mumbai. No, in Mumbai, it's better not to travel anywhere right now.
Okay.
It's safer and securer for everybody concerned that we do it in Mumbai itself.
Okay. So these music and dance performances are also a part of these award functions. So
Yes.
would that also be incorporated, and would we also witness these dance performances?
We will see, like I said, what we did last year is when there was a performance, there was no audience. They performed, but we put it in front of them, They all did. Every performance was live. But once again, we were allowed 50 people. We ensured there were 50 people only. So we do it in such a way that every single rule and regulation is followed. Everybody is safe and secure. And God willing, last year, everybody was there and was thoroughly tested. Did the rehearsals accordingly, did the planning accordingly, and the number of people allowed were on stage, and there was nobody else anywhere else. So performances will all happen, the awards will all happen. It may be that they don't happen in 3 hours, like I said. It may extend over 2 days, so that we keep slots, like from 1 to 3, we have just those 10 serials where there are 50 people. You know what I mean? We'll do it in such a manner, but we'll ensure everybody's there.
Okay. Lastly, a lot of people are currently, facing COVID, and the numbers are rising. So the morale of people is more or less a little bit low. What will be your message of hope to all of these people?
See, right now, we only following what we've been told, and we've definitely been told that this particular variant, it just doesn't go into the lower. It's going to stay in the upper track. It doesn't go into the lungs. It's more like a cough, cold, and flu. And I do know of a lot of people, especially kids, are getting it today. But God is kind. In about 3 to 5 days, after 2 days, they don't feel anything. And on the 7th or 8th day they're testing, they're coming out clear. So at this rate, what we've heard from South Africa and Sweden, that this particular variant peaked at 6 weeks and then went down. Today, Maharashtra has already said that we've got 3% drop in the number of positive cases, which is the headlines in all the papers today. So hopefully that will continue. And if that trend continues, it'll be perfect. But I think we all have to live with it for a while. It's like we live with coughs and colds and fevers and flus and influenzas and choleras. And I know a friend of my daughter's who is in the US who very recently got TB. They didn't know what it was. They said it's been eradicated. So you just don't know which virus is where. You have to be just prepared for it. And if the treatment is correct, I'm sure everybody will be very well soon enough.
Right. We could just hope for the best and hope that everybody gets well soon. Well, that's a wrap from In. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much. Bye.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.